3 things I wouldn't do if I were dating for marriage. 1, I wouldn't date for marriage. I wouldn't date for marriage because I'm going to explain it to you. When you are fixated on marriage, you tolerate a lot of things and be like, at least he'll marry me. I'm sure he said he'll marry me. And a lot of manipulative people would take that and run with it and abuse you. And you'll be suffering in silence. And they'll be like, is that how you want to act in marriage? They will even beat you and say that you have to suffer in silence. They would expect you to kneel down and serve them food because that is how a wife is supposed to do. Why even acting like a wife?
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell no, man.
I think that being with someone is for company. Like, the two shall become one, okay? And you really should date someone you like. You should marry someone you like, someone who is your friend, someone that you can be around, not 24/7, but 23/7, because sometimes you can't even stand your own self, right? And these are the characteristics. These are the things that make marriage. But if you want that marriage, that title of Mrs., you are doing yourself a great disservice. So that is one thing. I would always say that even though you want someone who is going to be your person, not necessarily your husband or your wife, but if you want somebody who is your person, then look for your person, okay? Somebody that when push comes to shove, they would always choose you because you keep choosing each other each and every day, even in marriage. Like, you wake up in the morning and your partner needs the car. You also need the car. That's when you have to say, okay, you have a longer route. The trains to where you're going to are not working. So you know what? You take the car, I'll Uber, and then we meet in town and you pick me up, you know? The fact that you can talk about this as a team makes more sense than someone who would just take the car and go and say that it's because I bought it, okay? But you stay because you're married. And the thing is, once you date for marriage, you stay in the marriage for marriage's sake and not because you want to. And so when they're abusing you, you actually stay in it as well. And so actually the main part, the first thing you should do before dating for marriage is first know that marriage is not everything, okay? But having a good relationship is more important than being married or staying married. That is one thing. 2, know yourself, know what you like, so that when you see the person who is according to what you like, who aligns with what you like, you would know. That's another thing. So know yourself, know what you like, know what you do not like. In fact, if possible, write it down. And yeah, definitely. Next thing is, do not tell the man what your dream man is. I actually fell out with someone, and this was one of the reasons, because every time she would go on a date, she would tell them, I don't want to be with somebody, I want to be married within 6 months. I don't even know why that 6 months. I think it's because of that conversation that we had that I just keep thinking about it, and I don't know. It just scares me. Why would you tell someone that, you have different ways of asking? First of all, you're letting them feel like you are a dictator and it has to be your way or the highway. And I don't think it's even a good trait to have as a person, even in regular friendships, somebody who is not open to compromise. I'm not saying compromise on your values, but you're not even ready to listen to the other person, to know what they really think. Because if you don't let them show you the real them, they are going to fake it to you. That is just the truth. That is the scary part. They will fake it to be in your good books, especially in a climate here in Germany where it is hard for girls to find true love and not men who are trying to use them for documents. And you are saying, I want to be married. They'll marry you, all right, but they'll go and bring in kitchen. After 3 years of being married to you and them securing their stay in Germany and their own German passport, then they will divorce and go and bring the love of their lives from outside. Yes, they will just endure the time with you. And that is not what you want. This is just an example of, the worst case scenario. What I would say is, in as much as I appreciate open communication. I would say that sometimes to leave some things unsaid and observe. Okay, for example, you do not like pasta and he loves pasta, right? If he's a true guy and you say, I don't like pasta, he'll be like, oh, come on, I can convince you there are different types of pasta. There is spaghetti, there is this, there is banh noodle, there's this, da, 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 da. Try it. That is somebody who is genuine. He doesn't have anything to hide. The person who is trying to get something for you also be like, me, I even hate all types of gluten foods. I don't like pasta, I don't like seafood, I don't even like lasagna. Meanwhile, his favorite food is spaghetti bolognese. So every time you leave the house, he'll cook pasta. When you come back, he'll wash pots, clean them out, he'll look your face. This is just an example. So I wouldn't say everything, but I would observe how punctual is he. Well, when it comes to punctuality, it's hard for people to fake that, but give room for observation. Give room for what? Observation. Another rule that I would apply to dating is detach yourself from timelines, because this, my friend, was like 6 months, I need to get married. I think don't pursue marriage so aggressively. I would also have other things I'm pursuing at the same time. So it's either a career path, it is either a business, so that you have a good balance. Don't focus on one thing throughout. And please don't be doing mommy G or daddy G. Sometimes it's not everything that is spiritual. Shine your eye, okay? Shine your eye. So yeah, if I were to be dating, these are the things that I would look out for. I would look out for friendship. I would look out for fun. I would look out for people I can have conversations with. I would look out for people I share hobbies with. I would look out for people who speak my language, not just the language I speak, but also in other things, And one thing that I would also do is make sure that it's someone who is genuinely good. There are people who are just selfish. Please, if somebody shows you they are selfish, run. I mean it. Run. Because it doesn't get better. This is who they are. Run. And I wouldn't tolerate what I know that I cannot endure or tolerate for a longer period of time. It is just a recipe for disaster. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I'll see you next week. Bye.